Yeah, I'm just say this right quick. The Chiefs got dominated last night. There's no way they could have won the game. And they were dominated from the start to the finish, from the start to halftime. Even when they came out after halftime, they still got dominated. Now the Eagles took it easy on them in the third and fourth quarter because they knew they didn't have enough time to come back and win. So they kind of eased up off of them, let them get a couple touchdowns so they wouldn't look so embarrassed, I feel, because I was laying back checking it out. They just couldn't handle the Eagles. They probably thought, their organization thought that they was going to walk out of there with a third Super Bowl victory, but they didn't get it like that. They underestimated the Eagles. The Eagles did their homework. They studied day and night and day on how to do this. They had a great plan, a great offense, and a great defense. That's why they won the game. They patted the Chiefs on their behinds and sent them on their little merry way. See, when you get to be winners several times over, then you tend to lose your humbleness and you tend to be taking people for granted just because you win all the time. There's always a time where everybody loses something. I don't care what you into, what kind of sports. You could be a great chess player. There's going to be a time somebody's going to beat you. You could be a great boxer. There's going to be times somebody's going to beat you. Martial arts, gymnastics, wrestling, running track, any sport that there's competition, whether it's by yourself with somebody or a team as a whole that plays another team, such as the soccer team, basketball team, a football team, a tennis ball team, a tennis match. You can't win all the time. That's my point. You can't always win every time you play in whatever sport you're in. The best lost. Bruce Lee lost until he got better and started figuring out the good, the bad, and the ugly, what to do, what not to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and why he's doing it. Ali got beat at least 2-3 times. He got older. That does play a part on a person. After years of being hit and punched and knocked around in the ring and stuff like that, your body can only take so much. It's the same thing in any sport. Running track. Sooner or later, you're going to lose your speed. You're not going to never have the speed you used to have when you was at a certain age. It goes for martial arts. It goes for anything. Any sport that you play that you like and love. Horse racing. You ain't going to always win. You're going to lose. That's part of life. That's part of being in sports. That's part of what it is. You just got to take the bitter with the sweet. And so, the Chiefs, they were cocky. I could see it. Yeah, they come in all quiet and this and that, but deep down, and they had all the people out there, behind them and this and that. Well, that's good too, to have fans. But they wasn't prepared for what was going to take place to them. From the first quarter to the last quarter, they got dominated. They got that ass spanked. Defense was great. Jalen Hurts was a bad boy. He was pinpoint when he threw that long bomb. He was hitting all his receivers that people were looking to see catch the ball, and they did. They got spanked. Simple as that. You know? Ain't no love lost. I mean, ain't no be mean about it. And yeah, you're going to be angry about it for a little while. Some days, some weeks, some months, maybe some years. But it's always another day. You got to look at it like that. It's just like if somebody's bullying somebody and they're going to keep doing it for a long time. One of these times, the person that's getting bullied, he or she going to get tired of it. And sooner or later, they're going to find a way to win. And in the streets, there's all kind of ways to win. It ain't no set rules. See what I'm saying? Like I told you in other videos, you know, you get in a scrap with somebody, people come back now, and they grab stuff. You know, they start firing on folks. Or, I mean, in my generation, it wasn't like that. It's fist fights and feet fights, you know, boxing, martial arts type stuff. But in the streets, there ain't no rules. It's all different. You know, you pick up something and bust somebody upside, they don't. The fight's over. Somebody gonna be screaming. That's what the streets teach you. But in a game that's regulated by rules and penalties, if you keep doing that, then you ain't gonna be in the game. You're gonna get penalized and whatever else may come after that. But the Chiefs couldn't handle the Eagles. And I knew in my gut that the Eagles was ready. They was there. And they did what they was getting paid to do. And they succeeded. So, like Bruce Lee said, never underestimate your opponent. Even when you bow. In other words, when you bow, you got to keep your eye on them anyway. Because if you don't, they're going to sneak you. Kick you, punch you, whatever they're going to do. And you got to be like that in anything you do, whether it's in the streets or whether it's in a regulated sport where they regularize the rules. The do's, the don'ts. That's what I'm saying. If you do this, you're fine. If you don't do that, it's going to be a penalty. Or if you do that, it's going to be some penalties. So, the Eagles came prepared. The Chiefs took it lightly. They thought they was going to run all over the Eagles, and it didn't happen like that. See, Mahomes kind of was cocky, but you see what happens. Never underestimate anything or anybody, male, female, tall, short, fat, skinny, black, white, Asian, Indian, Arabian, any culture, any ethnicity, any woman, any man. And that's what they did. They underestimated the Eagles. The Eagles from the start, from the kickoff, was dominating in the first quarter. Yeah, he threw a couple interceptions, but he made up for it with that long bomb. I'm talking about Jalen Hurts when he hit one of his receivers. That blew the game wide open right there. And see, like I said, they had pity on the Kansas City Chiefs. Why? Because, like I said earlier, they kind of slacked off in the middle of the third quarter all the way to the fourth. Because the Chiefs ran out of steam. There's nothing they could have done. Chelsea didn't do nothing. You know, he caught maybe one or two passes. Didn't go nowhere. You know? But on the Eagles, Saquon couldn't get it rolling. Because, like, the Eagles were on Patrick Mahomes, so were the Chiefs on Saquon. Because they knew once he got loose, if he can get an inkling of space, he gone. And they knew that. So he never got a chance to get it right. But Jalen did for his team and all of his wide receivers and the defense friends on his team. So never estimate or overestimate or underestimate somebody. That's all I got to say. They got spanked bad. They got embarrassed bad. The Chiefs, well, like I said, anybody can be beat. Don't care who you are, what you know, how good you are, how big you are, how flexible you are, whatever. You always can be beat. And that proves what I just said. They got beat last night, really bad, embarrassed around the world and here in the United States. So never underestimate nothing or nobody, or you're going to regret it like they did later.